So Pflugerville's always been thought of as like the affordable little cousin of the Austin area. But that affordability is gone, and I don't know if it's coming back. So just kind of looking at the trajectory of Pflugerville real estate, like we saw these amazingly high highs, and people were seeing like equity increases $200,000-$300,000. People who just bought maybe 2 years ago, and so watching those prices jump from 300K, which in some places like still equals not affordable, but from 300K, and now we're sitting at 499. That's a giant increase in such a short period of time for real estate. And I see it curving back down. And I actually think that it's curving down a little slower than it should. And we'll see a bit of a bigger dip over the next year or so. But even though that thing is slowing down, it will never reach these levels again. You know, I think we probably stop around the 450 mark at the very, very lowest, but still that is a huge equity jump. And then after that, in subsequent years, I see that skyrocketing just because of all of the projects that the Pflugerville area has planned, which I promise I'll do a video on soon. Couple more insights into the market. I think our price per square foot, like I said, prices are still going down there. So that 230 number, that's going down slower and slower. And I do think before the end of the year, like we will see that dip. That 7-day will probably dip below 225. So that's gonna be interesting. Our market action index, which is like the amalgamation of all this information put together to kind of give you a line on whether we're in a buyer's or seller's market. Look at that steep fall. When we saw those interest rates start to creep up, we were already on our way down. But this is a steep dip. Like we are seeing 2019 levels in the type of market that we're in. So 2019, if I was looking around Pflugerville, like there was just a ton, but I wasn't ready to make that move. But 2020 came, 2021, and you would see homes in Pflugerville fly off the market in one day. That has pretty much gone away. So the investors have slowed up, and so have the retail buyers, as well as inventory. So let's just check out inventory. You see here on the small chart, it's still on the incline. Let's blow it up a little bit. Inventory is still shooting up. Still a ton of homes available, and that's great for buyers. To me, Pflugerville is like the embodiment of family suburb. So if you've been looking to make a move here, now is actually a really good time to do it, and maybe through the next year. I don't know if prices are going to go up anymore within that next year, but you never know what happens in the country. But for right now, like Pflugerville is creeping slower and slower, closer and closer towards a buyer's market. You're getting your closing costs paid now. You're seeing all kinds of incentives. The builders have mad incentives. The buyers are paying down. The sellers are paying down interest rates for buyers. And there's room to do that because you got $200,000 in equity on the house. So you're going to probably only make the 175 or 150, but it's still a huge jump, especially if it was in a couple years. But if you bought when Pflugerville was a lot slower, then you've seen a mighty increase. So with median rents going down as well, Pflugerville seems to be leveling out when it comes to affordability. It is going back towards the more affordable option, but will it be deemed, just straight up affordable? Maybe not for some people, but the fact that new industry steady pours in, there's new warehouses, new businesses, like all moving to this area. I think it is a great time to get into Pflugerville because this dip will happen. What goes up must come down. So this dip happened, and I can see kind of sky's the limit for Pflugerville just because of all of the projects that are coming up. Another thing I want to show you, price decreases. They're still on the uprise, and they've gone up. They've gone up significantly since the 19th. They've gone up to 64%, so almost 10%. That is more and more people realizing, like, okay, I priced it too high, and I saw my neighbor's house and I thought it sold for this, but it did not sell for this. So I think it is seller sentiment, like coming to that realization of what this market is. And as we creep towards that buyer market, you have to make it compelling and enticing for a buyer because there's so many options. Another thing I thought would be cool is, like, if we look at our median list price right now around $499, we'll say $500K, which I think it'll creep below that throughout the rest of the year. I think we'll creep below that through the rest of the year and next year. But I wanted to actually look at what that gets you. So that $499 gets you 2,300 square feet. This one was built in 93, so it's a little older place. But I like it because it's the way updated on the inside. So this type of same house, maybe 30 minutes away, is probably, this one's probably going for closer to 300. So a pretty big jump in the standard of living that you would get. But if you go to pull up a 300K house in the Pflugerville area, which I don't have right now, but I don't think it'll be something that you're going to just rush to live in. So nice houses at this 500 price point. But in the old market, these were definitely $300,000, $280,000, $90,000 houses. So we've seen a significant jump. To me, Pflugerville is a long-term hold. There is the Pecan Street project that they're going to be doing. There is the North Point project. They've got the Pflugerville 2040 initiative going on with the city. Really smart government. So I like the things that Pflugerville is doing to grow and expand. And for sellers right now, I think two things: don't panic. So if the average days on market is 46 right now, and that's steady going up. So put your house on the market with time to hold it, unless you're going to just do a fire sale as far as the price goes. So give yourself some time, be patient, and then put in the extra effort to make your house nice and appealing to a buyer. So if you got to spend a little extra money to get the landscaping right or upgrade the kitchen a bit, add some paint, do those things. It will be worth it in the long term, especially if you compare your holding cost to what you might spend to upgrade it and get it sold pretty quickly. So keep those things in mind. We've seen a huge increase in inventory, and it's not slowing down. You got a huge increase in your equity. So if you are selling, then I think it's best to not be greedy in this situation. You get what you think your home is worth, but I would say don't push it to the limit. That's the advice that I'm telling my people right now. Our listed price should be our marketing price. That should be the price that we're using to get people in the door. And hopefully when they come in the door, we've done something to make the property appealing and to make it sell. But I'm also telling them, don't panic. If it sits, it can be perfectly fine and still sit, because that is just what the market is saying. So market always speaks. So is the Pflugerville area becoming more affordable? Yeah, slowly but surely it is. And I think after we hit this period of prices kind of dipping back down, it won't happen again for a long time. So get in now, or if you are thinking about selling but you have time, it might be a good time to be patient and hold what you got and wait for those prices to go up. And I would say maybe in a couple years, we're going into this recessionary environment that could last for 18 months or even more. So I would say just hold on tight. It's going to be an interesting ride. If your situation warrants you moving, then, it's best to have a great agent that's going to direct you right. And the good thing about this market is you can sell your house and find another place to live. 1 year ago, you could not. 9 months ago, you could not. So I think that's great. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me here. I would like to know what you guys think. What are your opinions on the affordability of this Pflugerville area? What do you think about the future of Pflugerville? Do you think it's as bright as I do? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you gleaned a little bit of value from this. And yeah, I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.